Stop chasing a bigger paycheck. Start building what actually makes you rich. The Wealth Paradox, 7 counterintuitive principles to avoid the traps and build a fortune, and a line that frames this as hard-won wisdom from self-made multi-millionaire Mark Tilbury. In the next few minutes, you'll learn 7 contrarian rules that help you avoid common money traps and make smarter decisions that compound over time. The first principle is framed as the sacrifice principle, anchored by a blunt quote. If you don't want to be like everyone else, you must make sacrifices that others are unwilling to make, credited to Mark Tilbury's mentor. This is the mindset reset. If the goal is extraordinary results, the inputs can't look ordinary, especially early on when it's inconvenient and nobody's clapping for you yet. Now that the mindset is set, the story immediately points to the real starting point, the very first decision that shapes your long-term income path. A potential income chart lays out 2 roads over a 20-year timeline, including the emotional trade-off. Path A starts with a high salary and impressed friends, while Path B starts with low pay, bill stress, and people thinking you're behind. The message is painfully clear. One path tends to hit a ceiling, and the other can create exponential long-term growth because it prioritizes skills and equity over quick cash, and that sets up the next move perfectly. Because the play here isn't earn more now, it's build the right foundation first. The headline says, prioritize assets over income, followed by, to earn more in the long run, be willing to earn less now, then splits the idea into 2 pillars. Skills, your ultimate safety net, and equity, the engine of wealth. In plain terms, this is a blueprint. Skills make you valuable anywhere, and equity lets you benefit from growth through ownership. Let's start with the most portable part of the formula, skills, because that's where most people can take action immediately. Examples of high-income skills show up clearly: copywriting, video editing, and coding, alongside the idea that becoming your greatest asset makes it harder to go broke. The point isn't to collect random skills, it's to build leverage by learning abilities the market consistently rewards. And to make it tangible, the page ties this concept to Mark's own early career decision. Mark's story is stated directly. He left school at 16 with no qualifications, chose a low-paid carpenter apprenticeship, and later used those skills designing best-selling products. This is the earn less now to earn more later trade, choosing a path that grows capability, not just comfort. But skills are only one side of the engine, because the document immediately pivots to what turns income into real wealth: ownership. The equity, the engine of wealth section, defines equity as owning a percentage of a business so you profit from its success, and it highlights 2 routes: starting a business to earn sweat equity or investing to buy it. This is where the math changes. Ownership can outgrow hours because the asset can scale beyond you. Before running with that idea, there's an important reality check, because equity isn't something you deserve, it's something you become worthy of. A crucial caveat spells it out. Be realistic, focus on becoming someone worthy of equity first, and add value instead of just taking. That one line protects you from a common trap: wanting the upside without building the skills, credibility, or contribution that makes ownership logical. And once you've got the owner mindset, the document hits the next danger: confusing real wealth with the performance of wealth. Build wealth, don't perform it, is paired with the warning: the fastest way to be poor is to look rich, plus a contrast between the illusion and the reality, with portfolio value and time reinforcing the long-term lens. It calls out how easy it is to impress people, especially online, while quietly paying for cars you can't afford and funding trips with credit cards. Then it backs that warning with hard numbers that make this feel uncomfortably real. A data-backed reality check lists 2 stats. 37% of Americans can't afford an unexpected $400 expense, and 60% of U.S. households can't afford to buy a new car outright. Those numbers underline the same message. A lot of normal lifestyles are fragile, and the pressure to look successful can quietly sabotage stability. So the solution isn't louder flexing, it's smarter leverage. And that's exactly why the next principle shifts from solo effort to building with others. Principle number 3. Scale yourself through others is explained through the PayPal Mafia case study, noting Elon Musk as part of the group that launched PayPal and that eBay acquired it for $1.5 billion. The takeaway is explicit. Your potential is capped by your own effort, but a talented team that invests in and advises each other can create exponential results. Once you see how much outcomes depend on who's around you, the next filter becomes obvious. Whose advice actually matters? Principle number 4. Curate counsel, ignore the noise, contrasts overwhelming inputs, family, coworkers, trends, friends, opinions, social media, distractions, news, gossip, with a focused lane of mentor, expert, and proven data, warning that overload leads to decision paralysis. This is strategic focus. Fewer voices, higher quality guidance, and clearer action. And to follow great advice consistently, Principle 5 adds the internal piece that keeps growth alive: humility. Principle number 5. Let humility fuel your growth includes a warning that arrogance is a trap, plus a visual showing what you know compared to the vast amount you don't know, where real opportunity lies. The message is simple: ego blocks learning, and learning is where the opportunities hide. From there, the document takes humility and turns it into a practical power move: full responsibility for your outcomes. Principle number 6. Own your reality uses 2 metaphors: the magnifying glass focused on blame, leading to excuses and powerlessness, and the mirror focused on self, leading to ownership and control, plus a Chinese proverb about blame and progress. This is the shift from "life happens to me" to "I can do something about this," because responsibility creates options. And once you're taking ownership, the final principle pushes you into the only place where growth actually happens: outside the comfort zone. Principle number 7. Make discomfort. Your new normal includes a stat that over 50% of people in the UK admit they don't leave their comfort zone, and 40% fear future regret, plus a comfort zone ladder with steps like carpenter apprenticeship, first side hustle, starting a business with a bank loan, global expansion to China, and starting YouTube at age 53. The takeaway is stated plainly: the comfort zone can become a self-made prison, and real growth requires deliberately stepping outside it. To close, the document turns everything into the contrarian's playbook, listing all 7 principles. Then, your first move asks you to choose one principle this week and take one small, deliberate action, like learning a skill for an hour, choosing the mirror over the magnifying glass, or taking a tiny step outside your comfort zone.